All right, here we are, boys and girls, up here for another roll reveal. This one is number 514. It's a 1953 D roll, and it is related in that it came from the same collection as the 48S roll we did the other day. And if you'll remember, that one was stuffed full of varieties. So we're going to give this one a shot and see what happens. I see there's a few people been here on the chat, but I don't know if you're here currently. So you have to speak up to let me know if you're here currently. There's Carl. I've rescheduled this one, I think, twice now. My record is 3 times, so this one doesn't hit a record yet. Hello, Richard. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. And if I can get this done and get through it in enough time, I might be able to reschedule and do number 515 before our reveal show coming up at 7 p.m. So there we are. The roll is open. Is the roll open? The roll is open. Oops, I've got these in backwards. There we go. All right. Off to the races. Coin number 1. Doug. Doug will get coin number 1. Let's take a look at coin number 1 and see what we have. Oh, this is the one that had the 53S on the end. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 53D that had a 53S on the end. It looked like all the other coins in it were 53D. So this will be our one and only 53S to look at. We'll look at the first 10 1953Ds on the reverse for the possibility of a double die reverse, but I'm not really counting on getting anything that way. There's a few little spots on this 53S here. But that's a boon in itself. You get a 53S and a roll of 53Ds. That one's for Doug. Let's see here now. Coin number 2. Malcolm. Malcolm in our first 1953D out of the roll. And it looks like we have nothing special on this one. Hello, Dennis. Good day, sir. And to Doug. All right. So our first 53D is kind of an unimpressive coin for details, but it is still a nice coin. So we'll have to give it that much credit. All right, coin number 3, Paul Hampton. Let's see what we have for Paul. Okay, we have a hit on the mint mark, which that's never exciting. I've never viewed a single coin in this roll other than pulling that top coin off to check and see that it wasn't all S-mint. So the top coin I showed you guys during the reveal show last week, and then we pulled one coin off to see that the rest of the roll was not S-mint, and it wasn't. And I have not dug through these any further than that. This one looks like it could be. Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to call it a minor RPM, but it could be. So let's take marker information from that so we can check and see what we passed by later. Let's see if they are related to one another, perhaps. I have a large dot out there in front of the nose and mouth in the field. This little guy right here, that's a large raised dot. Comes from a little pit in the die. Let's see if I have anything else we can actually call a good marker. Got a dot out there to the right of the D. I got a couple of decent markers, little ones, but they're kind of decent, so we'll just use that. Give that a good idea. Let's see. I have on the reverse, a little machine doubling there. You can see machine doubling on the UM of unum, and on the end of the right wheat stalk, the hair, what do they call those? Wheat lines, hair lines, wheat hairs. Corn has hairs. Silt. Wheat doesn't. So. Oh, Eric. All right. Got nothing on that one. Coin number 5 now. Coin number 5 goes to Paul Hampton. Well, Paul's already gotten a couple here out of the roll now. And this is a different die altogether from the ones we've seen so far. And I'm detecting something on the inside of the mint mark, but that could just be a piece of damage, part of the damage. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at there. So we'll just skip this one for now too. And keep looking. We're looking for things that have some real definition to them, things that are really nice. Dots. We like spots. We don't. That's correct. We've got some other dots on some of these. Some of them intended and others not. There's nothing going on the reverse of this one. That's coin number 5. Now for coin number 6. Number 6, Mr. Fletcher. Let's see what Jim gets. If we can get in and out of this one in 30 minutes, I should be able to get the other one done in time to actually be ready for the reveal show at 7 p.m. this evening. So that's a wide base, lower base to the mint mark there, but I'm not really seeing an RPM. Hello, Ant. Good day, sir. What is this? Oh, it's a big spot. Okay. I thought it was a die crack or something. It turns out to be a big spot on the coin. Big stain blotch. Okay, we've got nothing going on there. Oh, Mr. Adams. Coin number 7 now. This one goes to Carl. And one for Carl. Let's see what we have. Oh. That's got a big die crack across the head. Across the forehead. But nothing else there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Thought I might have seen some doubling on the lower parts of the letters there, but I don't think I did. It was just one of those it's your imagination things running with you. Nothing on the reverse of this one. Number 8 now. Coin number 8 for Josie. Let's see where we go with this one. Sure have a lot of these that have the odd looking fat bottom to them on the mint mark. Fat bottom mint marks. They make the rock and roll go round, you know. Nothing on the reverse of that one. Let's see now. Number 9, Stephen. That's definitely an RPM. That's a nice RPM right there. That for Stephen's got that nice line on the inside of the mint mark. So we definitely have a nice RPM here. Check elsewhere and see what we find for markers, perhaps. The only real marker I see so far is it has a little die dot below the D, and I think there's another one right there, and it looks like a little die scratch right here. So got a little fuzz going on down below the mint mark, but that is a nice RPM. Got a pretty one there. I'm not using a Dynalite, Matthew. This is a more professional microscope. I stopped using the Dynalite for this sort of thing because you just can't pick up the details well. I did not like it. Sam, I am. So I stopped using it. So for Steven, we get a nice RPM. Let's see if we can continue that effort. Eric? The Dynalite I don't use anymore. I've kind of stopped using it for everything except during the auctions, and during the auctions I use it to show the ends of the rolls that I sell. I don't even know which model it is. I lost the box to it, and I don't know how to tell what model it is without the box, because it just doesn't say anything on it about what model it is. Looks like we've got nothing on this coin for Eric here. Yeah. Nothing on the reverse. So, that's coin 10. Let's move on to coin number 11 now. Techstar. And what do we have for Techstar? Another one of the nice RPMs. There we go. Okay, we have a trend. Yay! Now let's see if I can figure out how to get a good marker off of this. I did see that little die gouge below the 5 earlier. I kind of see some of the marks that I picked out earlier, but they're not easy to pick out. Hello, Cookie. Yeah, so we've got a nice RPM that we're pulling out of the roll. I'm okay with that. Good start for the day, I guess. Here's number 12. This one's a gift to Parvas. Somebody purchased this spot for Parvas. And it looks like we end up with not much anything on it. So we move on. I didn't see that. Small scratch off the one. We'll check on the next one we run into. I'm sure we're going to find another one in here somewhere. Right? Going to be in here somewhere. Yeah. Not on this coin. Nothing there. Take a picture for you real quick so we can share. That's a picture of the microscope I'm using right there. That's my scope. That's what we're looking through right now. Don't pay attention to the mess around it. That's a madman at work right there. Number 14, Josie Fletcher. Miss Josie gets, well, it's a 53D. I don't think it's anything pretty or special. It's a 53D, though. All right, well, let's get on to another one of the RPMs so that we can try to answer Doug's question here. Number 15. Now, that would be ironic if Techstar got another one. Techstar's already got one of them. He did not get another one. Not in this coin, anyway. So we'll keep flipping it around, keep looking at it. Ooh, there's a partial split away lamination peel. Nice. Very nice. We have a little bit of an issue with the strike on this one. It could be an issue caused by a missing part of the planchet, so let's take a look at the other side and see what's going on there. Yeah, nothing too special. It sure looked promising from the obverse side for just a little bit, you know. But yeah, we don't see anything highly special going on there. I think it might be, I don't know, I'll have to look at it with my loop to tell. I don't think it's cracked. I think this is a partial lamination peel just in this area right here. So I'll look on the edge to see if there's a okay, where's my, oh, here it is. Wonder where my loop was. All right, let me take a look at it under the loop and see what I can see. It's either a bit of lamination peel that just goes over the edge of the coin, or it is struck through another piece of metal sitting on the coin and it's retained. Either way, that is a split in the surface. So let's do number 16 now. Mark. Mr. Mark. Well, not seeing anything that looks all important in this one. Okay. Don't forget, on the 53D you have an RPM that actually shows sticking out of the front of the vest, kind of below the 1 and to the left of the D mint mark. Don't forget that those are possible. It's one of those things that I'm seeing a little tiny bit of a doubled upper serif here. If it's already listed, we'll pull it out and annotate them. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to be listing that. It's too minor. Now number 18 for Carl. Coin number 18 for Carl shows us not an RPM. Not a doubled die. Yeah. Not in special. Number 19. Jim Fletcher. And Jim Fletcher's coin is one of the RPMs right there. Nice RPM. Now, you said something about, Doug, you said something about a scratch on the 1. This one's kind of later die state. It's a little difficult to tell, but you'd have to tell me where I'm looking. There is a struck through on this. It's struck through a little piece of wire or a little thread of metal of some sort, a little shaving. But I don't really see a scratch on the 1. I'd have to know exactly what I'm looking for and try to find it by moving the coin in different directions and trying to scope that specific spot. But as for the RPM itself, it is rather well defined. Yeah, that is a pretty well defined repunch mint mark, so it should be something that's listed. But I don't see any scratches off the 1 of the date. Okay. May have been light reflection. Could be. Number 9, Eric says it probably is. Awesome. Well, I will definitely be able to get all these pulled off to the side and get them all in one pile for you. That's a little piece of metal sitting on the coin. Sometimes you get that little tiny metal shavings and stuff that'll end up on a coin. Nothing really big. I mean, it's just there's so much stuff going on at the mint. At any one given point in time, there's no surprise there'd be little flecks of metal flying around the place. All right, who's up next here? This is Mark. There's another one of the really minor. That's a really minor split upper and possibly lower serif. If that one's already listed, we'll get these out and make sure that we get a die number placed on these for you. However, if it's not already listed, I don't think we really want to list anything that minor anymore. We're really kind of trying to pull back a little bit on how small is small and then how big it has to be to actually really be there. Look for under the area of M in America for die scratches. Got it. That would be on the next one of those that we run into in this roll, which we did not do with this coin. There's some little minor strike issues going on here, but nothing major for sure. Now, don't forget, I've talked to you about this plenty of times, but there may be people here who did not hear it or were not here last time. So if you hear me repeat myself on things, it's not because I'm forgetting what I'm saying. It's because I want to make sure everyone else hears it. But when you look at these coins and you see all of these little tiny marks and scratches and all this stuff, you think, oh man, what a beat up coin that is. But when you back out and you take a look at this coin in the macro view and you see the entire coin at once, they look a lot nicer than they do here. It's because we are hyper blowing these things up to extreme proportions to be able to see the little stuff that we're looking for. By all means, this is not something they do when they're grading, so you don't have to worry about the little tiny fleck marks that you see here as affecting the grade. It just won't. A little bit larger fleck marks, you know, stuff like this scrape above the 1, this little hit above the 1 there. Things like that are going to show up a little bit. They're going to be something that will modestly affect the grading. Big black spots, blotches, that's what'll kill you the most. That's what'll really kill your grade. Flip them over once in a while just to randomly check a spot and see if we run into something we haven't seen before. Coin number 24. This one goes to Eric. See what Eric gets. Not one of the RPMs, unfortunately. I see that mark will show in macro view, but not highly. It's not like it's going to be a total distraction to the coin. The coin is still nice, bright and red, and nice BU. Don't forget, folks, that we do have a roll reveal show coming up in about 30-40 minutes. I don't think we'll be able to fit in another reveal in this period of time, so we'll just leave that one scheduled for tomorrow. So this will be the one reveal prior to the show. Then we'll have the show, the roll reveal show itself, where we'll be selling next week's reveals. And Eric will be back. He does have a few scheduled for this coming week. I was looking at that little die break on the R here, this little die chip, and then I ran into this clash mark I didn't realize this coin had. Nice double clash. You can see that there's two C's clashed here that are not in line with one another. That's kind of neat looking. It's an older clash because it's been wiped away in part. So yeah, Eric will be back. He'll be doing 3 reveals this week. I have a couple of pairs of reveals to do that are kind of special, and they're going to be a very low price, so anybody will be able to get into them. And then we have the bag reveal for the 1963s coming up today at 8:15 Eastern. 8:15 p.m. Eastern, we'll do that. I'll go through about an hour or so of looking at coins from the bag, and then we'll end the broadcast, and I'll finish splitting the coins apart from there for each person, get them mailed out Tuesday after the auction. This could actually be an RPM. I don't know. Eric, I think it's worth looking at because we've got a really fat bottom and a line going across horizontally that looks like there's an extra little serif on the top. But man, these are hard to discern. And so, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I would call it a minor RPM, but a minor RPM that's probably within tolerance to the acceptance point that it's a normal coin. I mean, because there is MMS 5. It's mint mark style number 5. It could be. I haven't really paid that much attention to that. I know that 53D, 52D, and 53D both have 2 mint mark styles. Okay, this one's appears to be a normal coin here. And so let me finish my dig through this particular coin. We'll move on to the next one. 3 styles in 53, that's correct. Yes. There's the big one, the squished one, and the small one. Oh, Carl went in backwards. Carl's name seems to be the only one I get backwards sometimes. You're supposed to hold these down like this and then put the head of the name toward the top, just like this. And Carl, I get in there backwards sometimes. I don't know how that happens. But that's so when I flip the flip over, you can read the name. And it's not upside down. This one's for Carl. Carl? Not one of the RPMs. This is not the RPM you're looking for. Move along. Uh-oh. We got blotch on that one. Triangle bar, thick bottom, and normal. This one's actually got a little bit of, this has got toning on the reverse, so that means it was originally on the end of the roll. That one that just went to Carl. Here's one for Eric. And we still don't have one of the pretty RPMs that we're looking for in this roll. So that's coin number 30. Now we move on to number 31. Richard? Mr. Sappington. What do we get for Mr. Sappington? RPM. Yay. We got another one of the nice RPMs. So we'll be able to check that marker for Eric. Looking at the reverse around the M of America. Under the M of America. Well, I'm seeing scratches, but they're actually going between the M and the E of America. Okay, there are some die scratches down there. Are we close? Is that, back out a little bit so we can see a little better. That's it. Okay. Definitely it. So we have, what did you say, number 9? Is that what it was? Yeah. 53D 1mm009. Yay! We're getting a good marked RPM that everybody can collect out of this roll. That is the best I could hope for sometimes, because there's a lot of times we don't get anywhere near that. So we're doing well, I would say. Well, deep subject. I know, I'm a 4-year-old. Leave me with my 4th grade jokes and humor, because I don't have much else. Someone will get a plate coin, Eric says. He's checked the listing. The listing needs to be replaced. Go away, spam call. Don't need you. Don't need you. I got another spam call today. This is one of the fat bottom ones that has kind of a little line running through the mint mark. I want Eric to take a good look at that. This one's number 33 for Sissy. So you know how the moon gets his haircut. He eclipses it. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, boy. Let's not give up the day jobs here. I'm so amazing, sometimes I amaze myself. Not quite. Right? Alright. It's number 34. Now move on to number 35. Number 35 goes to Carl. About 30 minutes away from the reveal show for this week. You don't want to miss it. We don't have any big dollar featured rolls this week. We've got kind of a break week where you guys can enjoy spending just a little bit to get a lot. I have 4 rolls. Eric has 3 rolls, and I don't think any spot in any one of those rolls is over $2 a piece. Of course, I haven't looked at Eric's rolls that are available yet. He might have one that's more than 2. I think he's got a 53D roll this week, so that might break down to be well over $2 a coin. Our cost and our time doing this alone, with the printer fee, the toner and things that it takes to make these name tags, all that kind of turns us out to more than $1 cost per coin before you even buy the coins. Then you buy the coin, whatever the coins cost, and our fees are established based on all of that. Pretty much decided at one point that there wasn't a huge reason to do reveals that would be like under $1.75 a coin, because it costs us almost that much to bother doing the show. Here's another RPM. This one's going to go to Steven. Not quite in the same condition as some of the rest of them, but it's still nice and bright red BU. So that's Steven with another RPM number 9. Oh boy, what you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. All right. It's kind of hard to believe, but then again, it's kind of probably not hard to believe that when I started digging into these little bicycle license plates that come from the 50s and 60s and 70s that I've been collecting, I talked with a couple of guys, and then I start looking around and start looking through the plates that I have in my collection, find out that there are 3 different varieties of plates, 3 different possibilities of a variety for plates for the 1953 U.S. issue plates. And I've gone through and made a chart, and it was making me think of the close AM, wide AM thing when I was going through this. You got plates, some of these plates have a silver back, and then they got round bolt holes. And then there's ones that have a copper colored back that have round bolt holes. And then there's ones that are copper back and they have slot shaped bolt holes instead of round bolt holes. So there's 3 different styles for the 1953 state plates. And here I'm thinking to myself, you know, Chuck, you're probably one of the very, very few people who's ever noticed anything like this on a kid's bicycle license plate. One was assaulted. Oh, boy. The other was boiled, right? Oh, plate coin. Yes, the term plate coin. That refers to, it goes back to the old days, back when printing books meant that they had to do a typographical plate in order to put them in the Italio press and get printed pages. And when you would do images, usually photographs that were dotted out and placed on a machine that would burn away the negative areas of the picture with the, or actually the positive areas of the picture with acid. And then they would put that on with the intaglio plate to print the pages of the book. And that was called a plate view or a plate picture. A lot of times you'll see that in some of the older books of artwork and stuff like that, that they will actually call the different images in the book, they'll call them plates. And that was the reason for that. Well, that term has gone through and transferred over to the internet and to other works, in that when we use an item to take photographs of that item for the publication, that item becomes the plate item. And so when you have a coin, that the photographs of that actual coin are used on copper coins, we call that the plate coin. And plate coins can have more attraction, thus value, to some collectors, and owning the plate coin can be, I would have to say, something special, because you own a coin that was actually photographed and published online. And so that's what a plate coin is. Plate coin are the ones that we take the pictures of. Steven doesn't even know what his RPMs look like. They're nice. They're pretty nice RPMs. You'll see it when you come back through. There's not a lot of them in here. I mean, there's about the number I would generally expect, probably 5 or 6 or maybe 7 of them. But there's not a lot in here. This roll is not producing a whole bunch of stuff, but it's definitely worth the effort of going through it because it's pretty nice. Here's one for Frostbite. Let's see what Frostbite got. Here. Nope, not one of the RPMs. This is not the RPM you're looking for. Oh, the plate coin thing is also big in the ancients. I didn't know that, but yes. Carl, up next, Carl. And typically what we do with the plate coin, see that this one's got to be an RPM. I mean, I'm just seeing it now. There's a notch in the upper serif, there's a notch in the lower serif, so I'm thinking we're going to have to separate those and actually do a good look into them as being an RPM or a possible RPM. So make sure you pay attention to coin number 47 for Carl. Reading an anti-gravity book and I just can't put it down. Boy, the 4th grade humor just keeps going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny. All right, this one doesn't have anything on it, unfortunately. That's going to be coin number 48 for Mark. Astronaut's favorite part of a computer is the space bar. Taco John. See, now we are defining the difference between people who have grandkids and people who don't. For the most part, people my age have already forgotten all the stuff that they learned in the 4th grade. All right, Sissy. Last coin in the roll. Coin number 50, and it is an RPM. Great way to finish off the roll. This is RPM number 9. And there we go. Awesome there. All right, folks. We are finished with this roll. We have, let's see, let me count them. Count them here. I will let them go under the screen so that you may read who got what. These are all the RPMs. Stephen, Techstar, Jim, Richard, Stephen, and Sissy. Stephen got 2 of them. Only got 6 out of the roll, though. But that's I mean, it's actually relatively normal amount of RPMs that you'll get when you get them. All right, folks, reveal show coming up in about 20 minutes. We'll see you there. Have a good one.